What's good, y'all? Happy Halloween, Tuesday, October 31st. Let's get it cracking. If you thought I was taking the day off because it was Halloween, you thought wrong. Let's get into it. We had a 3-game slate tonight. First game was the Knicks. They beat the Cavs 109-91, and the Knicks really earned this game, man. They had 5 players who scored 13 points or more. 2 of those players came off the bench, being Emmanuel Quigley, who scored 18 points on 54% from the field, and Isaiah Hartenstein, who had 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 of them being offensive rebounds. And when you think about offensive rebounds, y'all, that's huge. That's second chance buckets. That's what wins games in this league. And the top scorer for the Knicks was Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, who both had 19 points. Julius Randle did end up finishing with a double-double. He had 10 rebounds as well. And I mean, Knicks just could not miss, y'all. They shot 39% from the three. At one point in the game, had a 23-point lead in the game. But on the other hand, the Cavs could not hit. They shot 26% as a team from the three-point line. That's, if you want the literal breakdown, that's 10 of 38 from the three-point line, which is crazy. Their shooters couldn't hit. Max Strus went 1 of 7. Donovan Mitchell went 0 of 3. Dean Wade went 0 of 4. Georges Niang went 3 of 9. It's just literally the total opposite from the Knicks. Donovan Mitchell was the only player on the Cavs to score more than 15 points. Actually, the next player to score as much as Donovan Mitchell was Georges Niang with 11 points. But I'll give the Cavs the benefit of the doubt, y'all, because they did have a lot of uncertainties coming into this game. We had Darius Garland was still out. Karis LeVert was still out. Jared Allen was still out. I'm blanking on his name. Jared Allen was still out. And Donovan Mitchell was a game-time decision, but he did end up playing. So I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, but they got beat up. Next game we had was the Clippers. They beat the Orlando Magic 118-102. And this game was rough to watch in the first quarter for both teams, as the Clippers only scored 13 points in that first quarter and the Magic only scored 18 points. And while we're on the topic of the first quarter, I do want to talk about how Paul George started the game 0-6 from the field and 0-7 and 1 of 0 from the three-point line. But he ended up being the high scorer for the Clippers with 27 points. Moral of the story is keep shooting shooters. But second quarter, both teams had a bounce-back quarter, scoring 30+. But that's really where Paul George and Russ got it going, man. Both scored 10 points in that second quarter. And then in the third quarter, the Clippers just absolutely took over the game, y'all. We had Russ scored 16 points. Paul George scored 14 points. They went on an 18-2 run in about 3 minutes. They took the lead. They were abusing the matchup with Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony looked like a kid out there. Don't get me wrong, I like Cole Anthony, but he couldn't do nothing with Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook was stronger, bigger, faster, better. It was crazy. They ran the ISO like 3 times in a row on that. And then they could really just got rid of whatever they wanted that night, I'll be honest, yo. And after that run, the Magic couldn't do anything about it, especially in the third quarter. The Magic outscored 21-41. It was over. But let's talk about the game with the craziest ending. Like, I haven't seen an ending like this in such a long time. Beginning of this game, y'all, I mean, really, the first half of this game, the Suns dominated. Spurs really had no answer. Third quarter, the Spurs were able to really bounce back. But the fourth quarter is what I want to focus on, is because the Spurs had the definition of a bounce back. I'm talking about from 0 to hero. They didn't lead the whole game. They did not have one lead, but they kept fighting, kept clawing. And then with about 50 seconds left, y'all, I gotta read this off right here, y'all, because I don't want to get this wrong. I go to about like 50 seconds left. The Spurs are down 109-114. Wemby hits a midi, makes it 111-114, and then Wemby hits a putback dunk, making it 113-114. And then on an inbound pass, Trae Young and Keldon Johnson probably foul Kevin Durant, but end up stealing the ball. If refs don't call it, Keldon Johnson goes up for a layup. They end up winning the game. That shit is crazy. They didn't have to lead all game until it was 0.1 seconds on the clock. That's wild.